What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. After Sound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. Okay, I kind of got into this with the recent Gladius pack opening video that I did, but I wanted to expand on it a little bit more because I've broadened it out to soulbound reward cards that are most likely incoming by the end of the month here, I believe. So the point that, and I mentioned this on Twitter, but again, the point that I'm trying to make is building up my Gladius deck has actually become really, really fun. And I know it's been a slow grinding experience. I have opened about 70 packs so far, and you can see that I don't even have anything that's like technically at silver level yet, I believe. I think all my cards are either maxed for bronze or less, right? So it's been a slow and steady grind. Obviously, there's only one use case for them right now, which is brawls. But it sounds like with the upcoming tournaments and then potentially these new soulbound reward cards, there might be a summoner or some kind of card in the mix that will allow you to use them in ranked play as well. So this could be extending. But we're not here to talk about Gladius cards specifically. What I'm excited about is the game factor, the streaming factor, the excitement factor, and overall, really the progression factor that I think Soulbound reward cards will have. Now, I know people are upset. They feel like they're losing out on value. They're not getting that, or it's going to be kind of delayed value that they're going to have to ping into and then unlock, right? Which, again, we've talked about all different kinds of things with Soulbound reward cards. None of that is really set in stone. It's just been kind of spitballed and discussed on the town hall and in videos here on the channel. But what I am excited for when it comes to the Soulbound reward cards is the same kind of feeling that I get when it comes to Gladiator cards, right? Because like I said, I've been documenting the experience for me of all the packs that I've opened, leveling up the cards. I guess there is one card that is silver, which is this guy. I've never actually used him in a match before, but now that he has thorns at the silver level, maybe we will. But sorry, got a little squirrel moment there. So the point being is when we think about like chest openings now versus chest openings, like reward chest openings, like 18 months ago. Like it was exciting. You would get it, you would open it, and you would a lot of people would stream it or they would record it. It was this kind of like exciting time because you were getting something. Now the values have like come down so much. You will usually get some kind of crappy, common reward card that's going for less than a penny or some potions or whatever. And sure, it's not that the excitement level is going to go that much higher, but with the combination of like the feeling of progression you get, you're like, oh, I really need this card, right? Like for example, I really need another Quora to get to level 2. So I am opening up the chests with the anticipation, right? Or I open up my Gladius packs with that anticipation. You'll be doing and having that same kind of anticipation for the Soulbound reward cards simply because it's just like you can't go buy them on the market. It's like, oh my God, I need one more BCX of this card, or I need two more BCX of this card. And so, I really do feel like it'll add a fun kind of roll the dice gamification aspect, which we've lost because rewards have become so dime a dozen. You go to the higher levels and even these diamond chests, it's like, yeah, go ahead, open them. Most of the time they're going to have potions. Most of the time they're going to be filled with one BCX common reward cards. Sure, some people will open up a chest that has like 3,000 SPS or something crazy, and they'll be like, oh my gosh, this was actually exciting. But for the most part, a lot of us are just having those be opened automatically, for example, by by Splex or by some other automated service. And I'm not saying that you're going to stop doing that or I'll stop doing it, but it will still make opening reward chests way more exciting, at least for me. Again, I'm just trying to compare the experience and the feeling of progression, the feeling of excitement when I earn enough merits to open the packs, when I open the packs to see what cards I get, and then when I see the cards that I get to see how I can level them up, my favorite ones, which abilities they unlock. Maybe I'll start using one over the other. I mean, I just talked about Crash, right? This is a great example. I've never used this card before, but now this Thorns gives me a great tank to use in brawls, maybe low mana matches, no melee matches, can throw them in there super fast, gives everybody else swiftness. Again, it's stuff like this that I'm excited for because we'll all be experiencing it together. And sure, I know people in the higher leagues are like, it's not really exciting because if I'm going to be getting one BCX at a time, it's going to be really boring for me. Blah blah blah. I get that, but at the same time, the moment you're able to get a card leveled up into silver or into gold or whatever league you play in, there's going to be this feeling of accomplishment, and I feel like people will be celebrating, and it's going to be fun. So again, maybe I'm overhyping it in my head, and I'm sure many people will accuse me of doing that, but I'm just looking at the parallel, the very direct parallel that we have right now, which is the gladiator cards, and I'm enjoying the process. I'm enjoying the process. There's no money involved, right? With gladiator cards, it's all merit based, and I'm not talking about merits. I'm just talking it's merit based. Have I been participating? Have I been working with my guild, going into the different brawls, making sure that I'm jumping into the frays and doing as well as I can and carrying the team. Obviously, it's more individual with the soulbound reward cards, but the same kind of applies where it's like, are you showing up every day? Or I guess is your bot showing up every day, right? Either way, the idea of like slowly leveling up over time, it gives that sense of progression. And hopefully it's not too slow that we all just, get bored and upset and frustrated with it, but fast enough that it's like, ooh, okay, maybe tomorrow or maybe 2 days from now, if I can get one or two more BCX, I'll be able to get this guy up to this level, which I'm really, really excited to play with him. So again, I'm not trying to just create unnecessary hype around them. I'm just genuinely telling you that I've enjoyed the guild brawl, the guild process and the Gladius process of doing that, and I would love to see how something very similar works with the ranked play experience. Knowing that we can obviously unlock these cards in the future and that they will have value, or they do have value, but we'll have it unlocked at a later point in time. But I'm curious. I want to get your thoughts on this. How has your Gladius deck development, or the building up of your Gladius cards, how has that felt for you over time? Is it something that frustrates you? Maybe you're on the opposite side of me, right? Maybe you want to be playing with like high level cards already, and it's just like, oh, this guy's level 1. I'm never gonna, it's gonna take me forever. Or like Cora, it's gonna take me probably another couple months before I'm able to get her to level 3 when she gets immunity, for example, right? So I'm curious to know what has your experience been? Is anybody sharing this feeling with me, or are you on the other side of the fence and maybe that's why you're dreading soulbound cards? I'm trying to get a temperature here of how people on the channel are feeling, but that is how I'm feeling. Again, this stuff is coming, so I don't believe that it's necessarily like copium that I'm talking through right here, or trying to dish out. I'm genuinely excited about it, because I think it fixes a lot of things potentially in the economy as well, and I do think it's going to make the game experience better in many ways, because it's not just like, got another card that I could have just bought for a penny or could have bought for $1, right? It's like, ooh, I rolled the dice, I opened a chest, and I got something awesome. So, well, it doesn't even need to be something awesome. It's something that I needed, which is great. So that's all I have for you guys in this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I will catch you all in the next one and see you around the game. Take care.